Welcome to the Stories That Sparkle. I'm Hella Rader. In this episode, I sit down with my good friend Mandy for the kind of chat we usually have at brunch and talk about the many different symptoms of the change, aka menopause, or in her case, perimenopause. Along the way, we do take some significant detours and reveal some major stuff to each other that we did not know before, and discover all the different ways we now know how to advocate for ourselves. So I invite you to get comfortable, sit back, and listen in. Every one of us is a facet on the giant disco ball of life, waiting for a little light to hit just right. I'm Hella Rader. Come join me as I shine a light on the women whose stories help me stay out of the dark. Welcome to our disco ball, the stories that sparkle. Okay, so hi, Mandy.
Hello.
I don't know when exactly we met, but it was sometime in the last 11, 12 years. 11 years. I haven't been here 12 years. And here's what I remember from one of my earliest memories is that we sat outside of Hopscotch Coffee and Records in the sun, I'm pretty sure, on a Saturday morning. And I, in a state of something or other, was like, I just need some friends. Will you be my friend? And then promptly disappeared again. But Mandy, ever since, has been one of the people who helped me back out of my isolated state. So I'm really grateful to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So today we're going to talk the menopause.
Dun, dun, dun.
AKA the M word. Well, we've had this chat a few times, but we had it again a couple weeks ago at brunch. And I was like, okay, we're talking about this on the Stories That Sparkle.
Yes.
So, because you're in the middle of a reprocessing of menopause or perimenopause, right?
Correct.
So can you talk a little bit about like what's happening in your body? What's it feeling like? What's going on? What's happening for you?
Yeah, that's what I would like to know.
Right? That's the $1 million question.
Yes. So I have been just waking up, sweating, and then cold, and then sweating, and then cold. So hot flashes in the night. Temperature regulation is failing me. And also my cycle is all out of whack. It's probably been about close to 8 weeks now. And as I am waiting to do some labs, I can't do them because they are cycle related labs. So I am going to switch gears and do a saliva hormone test. So hot flashes, mood is all over the place. So I get the crankiness that I would get if I was going to have a period, but I don't get the period. I just get mad and annoyed.
Right.
And annoyed.
Right. Like, I'm just bottom line annoyed.
Yeah.
Interesting.
And there's some brain fog, like difficulty concentrating. I mean, the things that I need to be concentrating on aren't necessarily things that I love. So, I mean, that might have a little bit to do with it, but yeah.
Yeah. Actually, just this morning reading about, there's this woman called Harmonize You, with an S, HARMOI. Hold on. I can't spell. HARMONISEYOU on Instagram. Harmonize You with an S. Who looks at the overlap between ADHD and menopause, because that brain fog thing you're talking about, it's like double whammy, like also with the ADDs combo pack. It feels a lot like ADD on its own, and then if you compound the two, it's like, forget it, I can't remember anything.
Yeah. I mean, I have had that problem a lot recently, like remembering people's names, or like start to do something and then get sidetracked and then just be like, wait, what was I even going to do? I have no clue.
Right. Is that a new development for you? Like in other words, you didn't come into this like already in an ADD vibes situation.
No.
Yeah.
New and fun.
This is a new development I get to enjoy.
Yes.
Yeah, I didn't know that. I did not know that brain fog was a symptom of menopause until I was experiencing it.
Yeah.
And couldn't remember basic words. And I'm like, wait, what's happening to my brain? I thought I had a brain tumor. Even though I knew, so for me, I knew, I had heard of this menopause situation. I'd heard, like, because I have several friends who are a few years ahead of me, age-wise. So I would be around them and they would always be like turning the AC down to like super cold, or traveling with a fan and all of those things. And I was like, what's happening here? And they, were openly talking about menopause and this is menopause and welcome to menopause. I'm like, well, I don't know what you're talking about. Not there yet. So when I started experiencing the nightly hot flashes, I was waking up every morning at 3 a.m.
Yes.
on the dot.
Yes.
It was weird.
Same exact time every single night.
So bizarre. I'm like, what is it with the 3 a.m. witching hour? I don't know, but there it is. And I was like, okay, this probably is menopause, but that I understood, but I did not expect the brain fog and the emotional roller coaster freight train situation. So that's when I was like, do I also have a brain tumor? And they were like, no, you don't have a brain tumor.
Yeah.
They're like, we can diagnose you from over here.
I think that's like part of the process. Like, we want to know what is going on so badly that we start looking into every single possibility. And then it becomes like an overwhelming thing to try and figure out everything. It's like, feel like I'm doing everything I should be doing to feel good. And yet I don't feel good.
Right, it's
like,
not working.
My knees hurt, my muscle between my shoulder blades hurt, and then the next day my shoulder's stiff. And I've heard a ton of people talking about this recently.
Yeah, locked shoulder is also a symptom, which I did not know that.
I mean, we could go through the list literally, and we would be like, I've never even heard of that. I've never even heard of that. And nobody can give us a real answer.
Well, and then I think also the complication is there's not a lot of hand-me-down info, because I know my mom did not talk about menopause. I mean, she's also passed away, so I can't call her up and be like, explain to me what your experience was. But I'm not sure she would even know how to articulate that anyway. Like, generationally speaking, I'm not sure there was the vocabulary for let's talk about our menopause. Well, I also think about the fact that, like, when I was between 10 and 15, my mom was probably in the throes of menopause.
True, yes.
And I think now, looking back on that, I can have a lot more compassion and understanding of some of the shenanigans there, or like some of her expression of mothering, if you will, or lack thereof, or whatever is like whatever. I mean, she has her own story, that I don't think I certainly did not appreciate at 15. And took me time to really wrap my head around. But when I started menopause, I'm like, wait. And when I do the math, I'm like, she was probably in the throes of early, if not hardcore menopause, right around that time.
Which would have meant that she probably kept a lot of things to herself.
Yeah.
And just felt like crap and was mad.
Because now, like, she had migraines.
Yeah.
She had, which I've never had migraines. So
you're lucky.
Yeah.
In that department.
That part, I'm like, I've watched her. It was miserable for her. But I'm like, yeah. And I mean, that was at a time when, you didn't talk about it. And I'm sure the doctors were like, whatever, lady. I mean, she had this old German dude doctor in the D.C. area that she went to because he spoke German.
Right.
But I don't know that he was a good doctor for the lady parts. I mean, who the hell knows what that guy was talking about or not talking about?
I asked my mom a couple weeks ago when I was in the throes of the hot flashes, but also I've been getting way more headaches. So I was like, did you have all these hot flashes and all this stuff when you went through this? And she just said, I don't know. I guess I had some hot flashes. And then I started crying because she didn't give me an answer, a good answer. I was like,
You're like, what does this
you don't even
mean?
want to help me.
You don't want, why aren't you helping me, Mom? Right. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not sure it would be, I would get a lot of info from her.
I am hopeful that we get to be the last generation of women that couldn't go to someone else for answers before we were in the thick of it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this is why I've made it a personal mission of mine. This was not generally my MO, but I think that the combination of getting a divorce, finding my voice slowly but surely, and then menopause hitting me, I'm like, F that shit. I am not shutting up about this. I'm done not talking. And so I was like a menopause brigade, a one-woman brigade.
Yeah.
In my sphere. I mean, I was talking about this with my dental hygienist. She was like describing symptoms. I'm like, you should ask your doctor about menopause. She was like, what? I'm like, yeah, don't suffer.
Yeah.
Don't suffer, lady. That was like
Start talking about it now.
Yeah, that was in 2021 when I hit the wall of menopause. Because for me, I had a hysterectomy in 2016. And even though they left an ovary, I no longer had a period already starting then. Right? So that kind of indicator was not present. Like I didn't have the additional indicator of like longer, months and months in between having a menstrual cycle or a period. And so I knew, it was coming at some point because they left the ovary so I wouldn't go into instant menopause. So I was slightly prepared, but I was also unprepared.
Right.
Because the first time I had a hot flash, like at work, OMG. I was sitting at a desk, in a meeting with two male executive types, right? And they're like talking, and I am disassociating because I'm feeling water run down the back of my neck.
Excellent.
It was disgusting, and I feel my face becoming hot and probably red, I'm guessing. But I don't know. And no one's looking at me, but I'm also not sure if they're just trying to be polite. And I can't hear anything. Like I went into total fog. So they're talking, and I'm just scribbling notes of gibberish because I'm like, just don't look at them. Maybe it'll pass. It was disgusting. And then it did. Suddenly, it all kind of went whoosh. I was back in my body. The water stopped running down the back of my neck, and I could hear everything crystal clear. It was bizarre.
Do you feel like when you have or had a hot flash, would your body, it was like a rush of anxiety came over your body, and then you got hot really quickly? Because mine feels like anxiety for like 2 seconds. And then I feel like I'm just heating from the inside out.
Yeah, that's a good question. I need to think about that. I don't know that I felt, and this is, I think, the other confusing part, because the specifics vary so much from person to person, woman to woman. I don't know that I would have anxiety necessarily, but I would just start feeling like the heat travel like in like sections throughout my body. So it wasn't all at once. It was like, and it would always start in the back of my neck for some reason and spread from there. And I was always like, oh crap, I'm starting to sweat. Like I would have to start, I had to start layering because I'm like, could take off all my clothes, but that's inappropriate.
Yeah. Take something off, and then 20 minutes later, you're putting it back on.
Yeah. Because I used to be that lady in the office who would have a sweater on in the summer because I would get cold with the AC. Nope, not anymore. I was like, no, please turn that thing down. And I didn't have a sweater on. I'm like, this is awesome. I don't need a sweater anymore. Then I started taking HRT cream, and that stopped. I would need the sweater again. That's how I could tell I was feeling better. I needed a sweater.
Yeah.
In the AC.
Nice.
Yeah, it was weird.
a couple weeks ago when we got some warm weather. I went upstairs to go to bed, and I got up there and it was warm, and I was like, it's too warm up here for me to sleep, and I just started crying.
Oh,
I was crying because I was like, it's too hot up here for me to fall asleep. I just can tell.
oh.
It's ridiculous.
I know. I think that was the worst part. Was the like waterworks tears for really
Oh, yeah.
very little. Mm-hmm. And I would get really like aggressive in my tone about nothing. Like what I was talking about and how I was saying it had made no sense together. Like I sounded mad all the time. And I wasn't mad. I was just talking.
Yeah.
And then I'm confused by the women I know who had no symptoms. I know.
I have nothing to say to those folks.
I'm like, I'm both happy for you and mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No fair.
Not fair. But you're also working, like, so let me back up. You've been a yoga instructor, teacher for many years now, which was a new career for you, right? Mm-hmm. How did that all start to get even into anything?
So I spent a lot of time working in hospitality and in restaurants. So there was a breaking point in that for me where I was just like, functioning late, sleeping late, doing everything at odd hours, just wasn't working anymore. I was just annoyed by everyone. And so I was like, I need to get out of this. Sometimes you get into that industry by accident and then you're there for a really long time, and nothing wrong with that at all. Like I got to do a lot of wonderful things because of that industry and meet a lot of really amazing people, but I had come to the end of that. Like I wasn't enjoying it anymore. So trying to transition out of that, I had started taking yoga classes and found that I was leaving there and just sitting in the car crying for an hour. Like, what is this? Like, what is happening at these classes that I need to sit in the car and just bawl my eyes out for an hour? Mm-hmm. So kept going back, and then joined a new studio. Same thing, was taking classes there regularly. And then they had a training that was coming up, and I was like, I'm just going to sign up for this training, and was instantly hooked. And then started managing that studio and teaching classes there. I loved it. I loved having access to that space at all times, just a big, wide open, clean space. I could go there at any time and just be there, do my practice, do whatever.
So you would go then, like outside of hours, regular operating hours, nobody else is there. How amazing is that?
Yeah.
And now you're adding a whole nother component to your
Yes.
health and wellness instructionals that you're doing as a career professionally. Right. I would love to hear more about that.
So I work at a physical therapy office in a program for people with osteoporosis. And we have either a 30 or a 50-minute session where they do biodensity, which is similar to what they do at OsteoStrong. So it's putting the max amount of load on your bones once a week, and then some exercises that we also go over with them and they can do at home. And through that process, it's been interesting because menopause is one of the reasons, or one of the time periods where your bone might start to deteriorate. So you start to lose bone density, bones get more brittle, falls become, a lot of the doctors make it seem like they could be, you fall down and you're done.
Oh,
I mean,
gosh.
they really make
Right.
it sound scary. So some people are afraid to do any kind of working out once they get diagnosed. And this program helps to either keep you at the level you're at or increase your bone density while also working on things like balance, which becomes really important. And that's one of the things we start to lose as we age. We can start to work on that before we get to this phase of life. So it's been really cool, and it's made me just want to continue researching. So I have a menopause specific yoga training coming up. I just did a little osteoporosis specific training. It just kind of feels like it all goes hand in hand. And it's something that I'm really interested in. You know, because some doctors will tell you there are drugs that can help you, you know, build your bone density. But what those drugs do are put a shell kind of thing around the bone. So the simplest way for me to explain this to people that I work with is it puts a coating, like a candy coating, basically, around the bone. So it's not actually making your bone stronger. It's putting a little barrier around the bone. I think the HRT and the medicine for osteoporosis kind of have similar, you know, previously people were like, oh, heck no, don't take HRT, don't do any of that, based on a study that wasn't accurate.
Right.
And everybody freaked out and they were like, stay away from me, HRT.
Right. Which, by the way, is hormone replacement therapy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And now that same kind of thing is happening with the osteoporosis medicine.
Oh, I see.
So people were like, get on the medicine. It's going to help your bones. And now people are like, oh, it's not actually helping my bones. It's putting this candy coated shell around my bones. Maybe there's another way. And now it's kind of starting to change where they're seeing that exercise can be helpful, balance training, strength training, making sure you're eating ample amounts of calcium, mainly in foods, but supplements can be added, but it's always better to get those types of things from your foods. The one thing about the drugs is if you were to need any kind of dental surgery, one of the first questions they'll ask you is, are you on bone density medication? And if the answer is yes, they will not do dental surgery because if they go in there and clip your jaw, your bones in your face, it can't be fixed.
Oh, because you had that coating on it.
Yes.
Wow.
But because a lot of people are wanting a more holistic or natural approach, the exercise, the strength training is a great choice. I mean, personally, I think the exercise and things are a better choice, but, you know,
Right. Yeah.
I can't tell everyone what to do. You have to decide which route you want to go. If you absolutely know that you're not willing to do any work to strengthen your balance, to strengthen your muscles, your bones, then, I mean,
Right.
I
Have
guess
at
you
it.
take the drugs.
Right.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm really glad that I had people be like, listen, you're going to go to the doctor. You're going to tell them you're in menopause. And you're going to tell them, get me something for this.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right. So I had some marching orders.
I love it. Things change over time, and hopefully they continue to go in a better direction, in a more supportive direction for women. I feel like just having these types of conversations, I mean, I feel like now whenever I'm around women, that's what we talk about.
Really is
In this
menopause?
age group. Yeah. I'm at my dog's play group, and we're like, ugh, I have a headache. My knee hurts. My back hurts. I'm having a hot flash.
Well, that
I
makes
can't
me
sleep.
happy. Yeah. That's actually very, whatchamacallit. It makes me feel optimistic.
Yeah.
Because I mean, even like what, 4 years ago? That's what I'm saying. I feel like this menopause is having its moment in a good way. Like it's just
Yeah.
infiltrated. There's also the downsides of like, okay, now there's like a bajillion Instagram accounts. I keep getting ads about menopause, this menopause supplement, that.
Yep.
And like which one's which and which one do you go with
Right.
and who do you believe? And that's like, now you got to weed out a bunch of misinformation
Yeah.
potentially. However, at least we're talking about it in
Right.
another way. Because I remember even, I mean, this was like happening for me in 2021, okay, granted also like still like in the latter stages of the COVID insanities, and just turmoil around that. But I just remember still like, and I mean, some of it's also with people older than me, like for certain boomer vibes, age group. Like you say the word menopause around them, like they get like creeped out and they hush tones. So I'm glad to hear that
Yeah.
this is changing. Even 4 years later.
Yeah.
People at the dog park talking about menopause. Very exciting. Yay.
We had a lot of time to research during COVID.
Oh, that's also true. That's true. Good point. So what else about your personal journey with it? Because you've had a couple of this, you've done some testing before already.
Right.
Right. And then a little bit of a pause. Mm-hmm. Do you care to share a little bit about what was that about?
So during the midst of COVID, I was incredibly fatigued. Now, I can wholeheartedly say that this was a combination of things, like the stress of COVID, working in a doctor's office, trying to handle like, you know, nobody really told you what was okay and what wasn't. Like, and when I say nobody told you, I mean like anywhere, not specifically at this job. But there wasn't a clear answer. So some people were saying something, some people were saying the other. Some people believed in this, some people didn't.
Oh, about COVID specifically
Yes.
right now. Right. So there's a lot of anxiety. You're like, well, what's what?
Yeah. So I was feeling incredibly fatigued. After I got the first vaccine, my whole torso broke out in a rash. And it was there for like 3 or 4 weeks. It wasn't itchy. It didn't hurt. Like it was just splotchy red all over. So I went to Dr. Lawson, functional medicine doctor here in Winchester, and she ran some labs for me. Now, these were for everything, basically. She likes to take a lot of blood. So they were for everything, checking levels for hormones, but also for other things. And I should also say my periods were all over the place. Like I would be regular for a couple months, and then after the vaccine, I didn't have a period for 6 months. So she did a bunch of testing. My hormone levels were wonky. I don't have the exact details of that with me. But also I have Epstein-Barr in my system, so that was activated. So she just put me on a bunch of supplements to level everything out. That worked great. I got some energy back and started having regular cycle again. That went on for a while, maybe a year. And so now I am having irregular cycles again. So of course I have a period 2 weeks before I go see her, and she orders labs for me again. And now because these labs are cycle related, I haven't done the blood work because now I'm not having a period.
Oh, great.
So I am doing a saliva hormone test, which I have not done before, but this can be done pretty much any time. It doesn't have to be. I mean, you can do it around the timing if you know when the timing will be, but you don't have to.
Right. Yeah, that's what I had to do is a multi-step testing situation because I didn't have a period anymore already.
Right.
So same thing, like we had to figure out like where in my cycle, because I'm still cycling, I'm just, there's no indication of it on the outside, if you
Right.
will. Yeah. It was weird. I could feel ovulating.
Oh, yeah.
It's weird.
It is weird.
Like once I got this random aside, but like once I got more in touch with my actual physical self, like working out and inhabiting more of my body, so I could actually feel, I'm like, oh, there's an egg. I've ovulated. It was weird. It was so weird. I don't think I've ever noticed that my entire life. Since I got my period, I don't think I ever noticed. Like, it's weird. I had more shame around getting my period than I did about menopause, personally.
Really?
Yeah. I don't know what that, I just had so much shame around getting my period. Ugh.
I think because then we had no clue who we were, what we were doing, like what was going on, who we had to impress.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
Well,
now
yeah.
we're just like,
Whatever.
screw you.
I'm over it.
Yeah.
Well, also then, like at the time, like my parents, like the talk, here's how I
yes.
got the talk. Okay. My dad came into my room when I was around 13 and said, Hella, whatever you do, don't be a bonbon. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about? Like, don't be the girl at the party who sleeps with just about anybody. I'm like, okay, I wasn't really planning on it, but like that was the talk. Like it was more about reputation than it was actually about anything physical or anything. So I'm like, okay, great. That was super informative. Not. And then my mom's version of the talk came 3 years later. So I'm now 16. But her version of the talk was not a talk. It was a book that she put in my luggage when I was going on a trip. And so when I unpacked my luggage, I came across, she had put the book on top of my clothes. And the book was Everything You Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Too Afraid to Ask. Published in 1969, I think.
Perfect.
Totally up and up on the info in the mid-'80s.
Oh.
So that was my version of the talk. So I think there was also a lot of like, whether intentional or not, like certainly I felt a lot of shame around any of it. Not just the period, but the sexuality of it, the physical, plus I have some history there of abuse. So all of that compounding to like shame around body, period. So like, I'm not talking about this at all ever.
Right.
No siree, no thank you, no
Yeah.
way, no how.
I guess my version of the talk, and this might be a whole nother episode. I don't
Yes.
even know if you know this about me.
Ooh. Probably, maybe not.
I did not get the talk. And I got pregnant when I was 17.
Oh, wow.
And my mom did not discuss this with me. Her way of finding out was to schedule me for a physical at the gynecologist office and tell me it was for soccer.
Wow.
So I think I knew that I was pregnant, but I
Right.
didn't know. And so we went to get a physical, and that's how I found out. My mom did
Wow.
not talk to me. I locked myself in my bedroom for 3 days.
Oh.
So, yeah. We never had a talk.
Wow. Okay. But, like, wow, what a revelation. Yeah, I did not know this about you.
Yeah.
That's intense.
Yeah. So maybe this is another episode.
Well, yeah, I have
or
so
a
many.
whole nother conversation.
I have a lot of questions now, obviously, but we don't, which I may come back around to. But what I'm struck by, I mean, aside from this is a revelation. I just feel like I just felt this like this gut punch for you in terms of the like both not understanding, not knowing, and this clear like what sounds like shame.
Oh, yeah.
Like just intense shame of like, I'm going to barricade myself here now for 3 days. I feel like the not talking is almost worse than the talking. Like saying
Yeah.
something hurtful is almost, I mean, I think they're both terrible, but the saying nothing just feels so dismissive and like devaluing of my personhood.
Yeah.
Like I don't exist or something.
Right. I don't know if we ever had a conversation about that. I feel like if we did, like it is wiped from my brain. Yeah.
And how do you feel about that now, like all these years later?
I feel like it depends on the day and it depends on the crowd. Yeah. It definitely, that shame definitely still lives with me. I mean, this is going to veer off in a whole nother direction, but, so I did have a baby. I did take care of him for 2 years. And then, his dad was getting married and they wanted to take custody. And so we were going back and forth, trying to figure out a plan and seeing a mediator and all of that. And they ended up awarding him full custody because he was married and I was going to school and working. So at that point, I completely just shut down and I was like, okay, well, no one is telling me I'm doing a good job of this.
Right.
So I just packed up and moved to North Carolina. Yeah.
Wow. Dang, dude. That's intense. I mean, this is intense.
Yeah.
And I feel that. That shame, no one's telling me, like no affirming of any kind. And then even the legal avenues are compounding upon that and deciding, like making a judgment, literally.
Right.
Yeah. Wow.
So we do still communicate. Like, when I moved away, I would still see him sometimes when I came back home and, you know, we're not close, but we're not ugly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like I don't know how to make up for all of that time.
Right.
And part of me is like, do I need to? Because I was who I was. I did what I thought was right. I was like, okay, well, nobody thinks I'm doing a good job of this, so clearly I'm not. So maybe I just remove myself from the situation and you get to have the life that you deserve according to everybody around.
Right.
And part of it too was that everyone wanted to take care of him. But I was like, okay, well, who's going to take care of me?
Right. Who's looking out for me here?
And I think that's why I ended up being so much closer with my grandmother than I was with my own mother. You know, because moms don't know everything. They don't know how to handle everything.
Right.
Maybe they became moms at a weird time in their life.
Right.
You know?
Right.
But grandmas,
right.
They've already been there. They've already done that. They have a better, they can see more. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes total sense. How does that feel just talking about it with me even here in this whole situation?
I mean, it feels fine talking about it now. Yeah. Like, there was a while when I didn't talk about it because I was like, oh my God, I'm such a failure. I don't want everybody to know that I wasn't capable of this, or I wasn't good at this or couldn't do it. You know, because a million times over I can be like, well, the courts said this and so said this and made me feel like this. And, you know, people will be like, you should have fought for, but I didn't know how. I had no idea how.
Right. Well, yeah. I mean, you're 19 at that point, right?
I think I was 18.
Okay, 18.
I was a senior in high school.
Yeah, I mean, for fuck's sake.
Who had sex 3 times.
Right. Like, yeah, you're supposed to go to war with the judicial system with no support behind you to do that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It was like, oh, we'll take him. We'll do it. We'll do it. I'm like, so what do I do? I guess I just leave. All right, you guys want to do this? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So then I moved to North Carolina.
Right. Right.
And then I just became the fun Mandy. You know what I mean? Like, I was fun. Everybody thought I was funny. Everybody thought I was nice. Everybody wanted to be around me. And now I'm just... My version of fun was like, you know, there was alcohol involved. And now, like, I can't drink a lot of alcohol. My body does not metabolize alcohol. Menopause symptom number 176.
It does aggravate them too. Like the hot flashes get worse if you're drinking. 100%. 100%. Like, I mean, I definitely, not that I was a huge massola, crazy pants drinker or anything, but certainly like, and increasingly less and less. Like, it's a lot less often, and certainly. So, I mean,
it's still daylight.
Yeah,
most of the time.
Yeah, usually it's not after 10 p.m.
No.
I'm usually in bed by then.
Yes. Or sometimes 7.
So do you feel like, so I'm always curious, like if menopause also brings with it a bit of grief. Because I had the hysterectomy, I had the grief of losing my reproductiveness, the loss of that physical capacity, this physical alteration, like that's all gone. And like what makes me a woman now, like there's just an emptiness there, literally. Do you feel any of that? Is that something that's current, like up for you? Or does it just bring up a lot of this other part of your story with having been pregnant? I'm just curious like, if there's grief attached here for you in any way.
I mean, there's definitely grief, but I don't know if it is attached to menopause or perimenopause or any of that. I don't think it's that type of grief. Like after that, I didn't ever want to have a child. After that happened, that was kind of off the table for me because I was like, well, I couldn't do it the first time. So what if I can't do it the second time? But also, what if I'm really good at it the second time and then it gets compared to the first time? So it was kind of just off the table.
So there's grief around that?
Oh, for sure.
Right.
Because I like kids. I love other people's kids.
Right.
Other people's kids seem to like me.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't want to keep them.
Right.
Like, I don't want to, you know.
Don't come home with me, man.
Yes, I will play with you and we can talk about poop. But
right.
Then you go to your own house with your family.
Right. Yes. Well, that was what was interesting to me is I didn't want kids, but then when I knew I couldn't, I was no longer physically capable, even though, I mean, I was already in my 40s. It's not like I was planning on getting pregnant. But now I guess for me, the choice was removed.
Right.
And that's the part that was upsetting to me, or that I had to grieve. It was weird because, yeah, I had never consciously had a strong desire, except for like 1 year in my 30s, because everybody around me had babies and the smell of babies somehow kicked in my hormones, and I wanted to have I didn't actually want to raise a child. I just wanted to be pregnant. It was very strange. It's like a body thing. I don't know what to say about that, but that was like a brief thing. But otherwise, I just never really felt a strong need for that or urge to do that. But then suddenly a hysterectomy, I was like, oh my gosh. And now I'm like crying. It was crazy. I don't know. Maybe it was hormones.
Yeah. I think the other thing too, which most people experience, is the weight gain.
Right. Yes.
Or, the belly fat. Because when we are in the ages that we might get pregnant or are trying to get pregnant, we have more weight around our hips and our waist. It needs to be there for support for when you start to grow a little one in there. And and then that fat moves around to the belly when we get towards perimenopause and into perimenopause.
Yeah, this is one of my least favorite symptoms.
Yeah, same.
Because there's nothing, I can't figure out what to do about that.
Nope.
I can't exercise enough, walk enough, eat so in such a way enough. I mean, I'm not super strict about it all the time, but still, like, I'm like, what in the bleep?
Yeah.
It's very frustrating.
It's a tough one. I don't think there's a really great answer, honestly, out there for that. They want you to be strength training and also walking, which we are very certain that you do plenty of that.
I do lots of, yes, as we all know, I do lots of walking. When in doubt, go for a walk.
Yeah. And then get plenty of water, and I won't even start talking about diet because it just varies so much for other people. But but the weight gain is real. I mean, I feel like I've probably gained 30 pounds in the last 5 years, 6 years.
Yeah, just from the hormonal shifts and where I hadn't thought about the fat relocates itself to this midsection area.
Thanks a lot.
Thanks a lot, Mother Nature. Well, one of the symptoms that I'm really bummed about that I had no idea was a thing with all you vaginal dryness.
Yeah.
I'm here to report it sucks. It really pissed me off because this is revelation hour, Mandy. I mean, I had a largely sexless marriage for 20 years. A lot of that was me, so I'm not I'm not casting any aspersions here. But there was it was a complicated layering of things. One was, as I said, I'm a survivor, which I didn't want to admit or talk about or address in any kind of way, shape, or form for most of my life until like 5 years ago. So there's that piece. Then, in the context of my marriage, I just didn't feel safe most of the time. And so I just kind of shut down this huge part of myself and just bought the lie that I was being told that I wasn't a sexual being and that I was asexual, which I have zero belief in that about myself. However, it was easier to just shut down than to deal with it, quite frankly, which makes me really sad for myself. And I have a lot of grief around that for my younger self, that she thought that was okay. And what the hell? Anyway, so, finally I'm divorced and rediscovering my body, learning how to masturbate, all the things. And then I was, had the I'll call it a real pleasure of being with this really sweet, awesome man. Felt very safe there. Feel very safe there. And I was like, but now I have this problem. I'm like, what the hell? I finally own my sexuality, my pleasure at 50 whatever the hell, or almost 50 whatever the hell. And now I have vaginal dryness because damn you, menopause. Yeah. I was so infuriated by that. I was like, wait, what is this now thankfully, I called a girlfriend and I was like, WTF with this? What happened here? And she's like, oh, yeah, that's vaginal dryness. It comes with menopause. I'm like, wait, why didn't anyone tell me? I did not put that on the menu. This is not right. So anyway, there are plenty of things you can do for that too, FYI, ladies. So I will put some resources for that up there. But like, there's like inserts. There's, you know, all kinds of other tricks and things you can do to offset that. But anyway, that's my least favorite symptom.
Yeah.
Because like even like night sweats and like I can sort of
Except
navigate
for that I want to be asleep all night.
Yeah, that's true. That's a real pain in the ass.
Like occasionally, and when I say occasionally, I mean like every couple of months or longer. Not like weekly. Mm-hmm. I will just take NyQuil so I can be asleep all night.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I'm not just sitting around drinking NyQuil for fun.
Right.
But I will take NyQuil or ZQuil or whatever just so I can be asleep all night long.
Right.
I mean, I also live in a house with pets, so sometimes I'm woken up by the cat jumping on or off something. But usually it's... I'm sweating, blankets off. And now I'm cold because the blankets are off. There's sweat on me and a fan blowing on me. Yeah. And now I'm freezing cold.
Okay, yeah, that's...
So now I'm back under the blanket. Up, hot again. Up, freezing. Up.
Yeah, no, that was the worst when I would get up and I would have to like go take a shower. But now I'm wet. And now I go back to bed, and now it's freaking, I had the thermostat so low that now I'm freezing.
Yeah.
So now I'm like huddled under the covers. I'm like, I can't win. I cannot win. My body temperature will just not stay at one place. Mm-hmm. I will say that HRT 100% took care of that.
That's awesome.
Like I got to, like when I was taking, like once it got into my system, because I take the cream, mine's compounded. Right. There's plenty of other, like there's patches, there's this, that, whatever. There's other ways to get the HRT. So find the way that works for you, obviously. I went the cream route, and I just remember, like, it took a minute, but once it was dialed in, oh my God, sweet, sweet sleep. I slept through the night like a champ. It was awesome.
I look forward to the day.
Yeah, I didn't wake up in the middle of the night with sweating, none of that. It was done. It was so glorious. And I think that 100% also helped my mood swings. I mean, not just the HRT, but also like actually getting
being asleep.
Good sleep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so what's next for you in the menopause journey?
So I have the saliva testing that I'll do, and then see what comes back there, and then I am gonna get on HRT. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but this one is supposed to get a better gauge at what you need specifically, right. And then the cream is made to your exact specifications, rather than like I know there's websites you can get them online now without going to your own doctor. You know, you see like a website doctor for 5 minutes or something, but not saying those aren't helpful. If that's what you're doing and that works for you,
great, excellent. Yeah.
But this would create, the cream would be more specific to where your hormone levels are.
Yeah. That's what we did. He, it was like so much estrogen, so much progesterone, because everybody's going to be different, like what you actually need for your system. So ideally, you're getting it compounded to your specific body needs. Yes. Ideally. But like you said, if the other stuff's working for you, great. I think that's the other thing I just want to say is like, I took chaste tree in the beginning, and that did help.
Black cohosh.
Yeah, black cohosh.
People will suggest that.
Yeah, I have this thing called that my doctor did give me, female hormone support PM, that I took. This was before the HRT, before I had it, and to sort of bridge. But he was like, long term, it's not going to be enough. There's not enough black cohosh for you, lady. Yeah. So, I will say, like, some of those things did help, like the chaste tree, the black cohosh, St. John's wort. Like, there are supplements like that that can help, certainly while you're working these things out. they can't hurt. They can certainly help offset some things. So, no shame. Like, find the path that works for you best.
Yeah.
No shame. Just know. I think my big thing is just know, everybody, that you don't have to suffer.
Right.
Like, you don't have to tough it out. Like, it's not a sign of weakness if you get the HRT or anything else for that matter to help, because this is no joke, this stuff.
Right. And, we have to advocate for ourselves. We have to do our own personal research. We have to listen to our own bodies. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, and I'll say it again, we have to advocate for ourselves.
Right. It was a real mile marker when I said to my doctor, I want fill in the blank, or I want you to check such and such, and would come in. And I had, grateful to have doctors who are willing to listen to me. But I also had a rule in my mind. I'm like, if you're not going to hear me out, I'm going to change doctors.
Right.
Because, I'm not doing this with you. I'm not going to argue with you about my care.
Yeah. I had that same kind of situation with a therapist.
Right.
You don't have to settle on the first one that comes along, the first one that...
Right.
But I was like, I don't think we're meant to work together.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry. Bye.
Yeah. And I do think, just to bring it back around, like, I do think, like, that's the big difference between, the shame I felt as a 13-year-old starting her period, and now as a early 50s-year-old in menopause. I'm like, I just don't have that shame anymore, than I'm willing to say it, ask for what I need, which I was not able to do or willing to do then. It was too scary. Didn't have the tools for that.
No.
I will say that menopause burned away a lot of that. Like, just all the hot flashes just fried it out. Yeah. I was like, zero fucks to give here.
Yep. Seen too much, done too much. And now I don't care.
Yeah, I just don't care. I just want to not sweat. That's all I care about. I just don't want to sweat anymore.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, Mandy.
Thank you.
I always love chatting with you. And thank you for, thank you.
You're welcome.
For being, willing to discuss all of the things around the menopauses.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm sure we'll be talking more about it at the next brunch.
Yeah, we will.
Updates.
Someone else will be starting to get hot flashes, and we'll have to soothe them.
Yeah. It was funny. We're also in a text chat group, and when it came up, well, talk to Hella about the menopause. And I'm like, now talk to Mandy about the menopause. We're just going to keep handing off the baton of the, talk to so-and-so about the menopause. All right, well, let's go walking soon.
Okay.
Please. Strengthen our muscle.
I thought you were going to say right now.
Well, I would go right now, but I already going walking with somebody else. I'm walking full. I'm a walking fool.
I love it.
All right, girl.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Stories That Sparkle. I have posted links and other reference materials in the show notes, information about menopause, perimenopause, osteoporosis. These are just places to start as you do your own research. And like we mentioned, talk to people, talk to each other, talk to your doctors, ask lots of questions, be the squeaky wheel, and advocate for yourself and for your care, because you are so worth it. I have also included a beautiful love letter from Mandy in the show notes and on the Substack, so please, please, please go check that out. And finally, the book, Everything You Always Wanted to Know About Sex But Were Afraid to Ask by David Rubin, MD, a psychiatrist, was indeed first published in 1969 and reissued with updates in 1999. Thank you for being here. The Stories That Sparkle is the space I created for women you have never heard of and could easily pass on the street to share in their own voices the very human complexities of their own stories. So please rate, review, subscribe, follow, all those things. And if you have a story to share, please drop me a line at hellarator@substack.com, because together we bring light into dark places.